Hey everyone, it's Heather Nichols, and today I'm going to show you how I created these adorable treat bags that are perfect for tucking treats and gifts into for Valentine's Day. It all starts with the Critter Clips Valentine die collection. This multimedia die set is designed to cut through felt, chipboard, and other types of materials. There's a main base shape that you can add the details to make a fox, a bear, a ladybug, or a bumblebee. I'm cutting my critters out of felt. I'm using the colors Marshmallow, Black Licorice, Khaki, Latte, Cherry Blossom, Carrot, Cranberry. I did use a yellow felt from my own stash, but you could use Butter out of the Tailored Expressions collection. For the treat bags, I'm using the pre-cut Valentine Treat Totes. They come in a set of 12 in Guava and Fruit Punch, 6 of each color. For stencils, I'm using the smaller circle in the Masking Stencils Scalloped Circle set. I'm also using the Swiss Hearts Mini Slim Stencil. I'll have my blender brushes to apply color. I have my white and my pink brush, and I'll be using Pixie Spray to hold my stencils in place on my project. For ink colors, I'm using Guava, Fruit Punch, Sugar Cube, and Oreo. For adhesives, I'm using the Scrap Perfect Best Glue Ever, and I also have a 1/4 inch wide sticky tape. I'll be cutting out heart tags with the Heart Stacklets die collection. I'm using the 3rd smallest size. And then sentiments I'm stamping with the Itty Bitty Sentiments Valentine stamp set. I'll be using a bone folder when I'm assembling my treat bags. And I'll also be using a hole punch and burlap twine when I make my tags. I'm adding splatters to my project with Copic opaque white ink and a water brush. And then finally, I'll be embellishing my project with bits and pieces hearts. The first thing that I'm going to do is cut out all of my pieces with the dies for the different critters. I'm cutting my felt so that it'll fit through my Sidekick machine, and then I will just cut out a base for each critter and then all of the details that go with it. The ladybug has wings and a headpiece. The bumblebee has stripes and a little stinger piece, as well as the headpiece and some wings. The bear has a muzzle, nose, eyes, and ear pieces. And then the fox has kind of a face piece, ears, nose, and eyes. Finally, I cut 2 more eye pairs for the fox and the bear to make pink cheeks. Next, I'm gluing the critters together with a thick craft glue. I'm using the Scrap Perfect Best Glue Ever, and that worked really well for me. I've also used tacky glue before. One thing you should notice about these critters is that while they use the same base for each design, the bear and the fox use the base so it's more horizontal, because it is a little bit of an oval, so they are more horizontal or landscape oriented. And then the ladybug and the bumblebee, you want to turn that so it's more of a taller oval, more up and down, more vertical, to apply those designs. So just by tipping them back and forth, you can get the different looks for the different critter designs. Most of the details that you're going to apply to that base shape get attached to the front of the piece. There are a few things that you're going to want to attach coming out from behind the piece, and that's the ears and the wings of the bumblebee and the little stinger of the bumblebee. Now it's time to get the treat boxes ready, and I'm going to use that Masking Stencils Scallop Circle. I'm using the smaller circle in the set, and I'm using the inset piece to determine where the scallop is going to go on the treat box. I do have Pixie Spray sprayed on the back of the stencil so that it will stay in place and not slide around. And then I'll take the larger stencil and set it over that inset piece so that I know that where the stencil opening is exactly where I want it to go on the treat box. Once that's in place, I'll remove that inset and then use my blender brush to apply the color through the stencil opening. I'm doing a tone-on-tone look, so on the Guava boxes, I'm using Guava ink, and then on the Fruit Punch boxes, I'm using Fruit Punch ink. Once I'm done stenciling, I'm leaving that Scallop Circle masking stencil in place and layering the Swiss Hearts Mini Slim stencil over the top so it covers that opening. And then I'm using my white blender brush to apply Sugar Cube ink through the stencil to add hearts to that Scallop Circle design. Once I'm done, I'll peel those stencils off to reveal that finished scallop circle design, and it is the perfect landing spot for those cute little felt critters. Once I completed all my boxes, I added some splatters for a little something extra. I'm using Copic opaque white ink and a water brush. I'm picking up the ink with my brush and then tapping the brush over my fingers to splatter onto the boxes. I am making coordinating tags to go on my treat boxes, and for the tag bases, I am stenciling the Swiss Heart stencil onto both Guava and Fruit Punch cardstock. I'm using the same color of ink on each color of cardstock for a tone-on-tone look. Next, I stamped sentiments on the stenciled cardstock from the new Itty Bitty Valentine stamp set. If you check out the sentiments, there are several that coordinate with the critters really well. I used Be Mine, I'm Wild About You, You're Sweet, and Bear Hugs. To stamp them, I set them onto the cardstock pieces where I wanted to stamp. I'm going to be cutting these out, so I spaced them apart. I closed the lid of the Misty to pick up the stamps. I inked up the stamps with Oreo ink and stamped them onto the cardstock. I'm using a Heart Stacklets die to cut out my tags, and I'm using the third smallest size. That seems to be a really good size to go around the sentiments, but yet there's still room to punch a hole. I lined up the die and held it in place with some Scotch removable tape and then ran it through my Sidekick machine to cut them out. All right, let's put these boxes together. You're going to want to fold right along all of the score lines, and a bone folder is going to be really helpful to get all those creases nice and crisp. You're going to want some sort of strong adhesive. I have a 1/4 inch sticky tape that I'm going to add to that narrow tab on the one end of the box. Then you'll want to fold that box around and attach that tab to the other side to form the main part of the box. There are score lines on the side of the box that you'll want to fold in towards the middle of the box, kind of like a paper grocery bag. On the bottom of the box, there are 2 smaller tabs on the shorter sides, and fold those in first, and then the 2 larger tabs interlock together. Once the tabs are interlocked, the bottom is pretty sturdy. If you want to add additional adhesive, you're definitely welcome to do so, especially if you're going to put something a little heavier in the box. Once I have all of the boxes put together, it's time to glue those little critters on, and I just used that liquid glue again to attach each of the critters to the little scallop circle that I stenciled onto each box. I used a hole punch. This is an 1/8 inch circle hole punch, and I'm punching a hole in each of the hearts to make it into a tag. I added a few bits and pieces, hearts, embellishments to the tags. I just used the white color and just used a liquid adhesive to glue those right onto each of the tags. Finally, I tied the tags to each of the treat boxes with burlap twine. I threaded the twine around the handle on the box, threaded the tag onto the twine, and tied a bow. These little treat boxes are done, and they turned out so cute. I can't wait to fill these up with Valentine treats and gifts. It's going to be so fun. I hope you enjoyed learning how I created these adorable treat boxes with the cute little felt critters on them, and I hope you're inspired to create your own treat boxes to share with your loved ones for Valentine's Day. All of the supplies that I used to create the treat boxes can be found in the Tailored Expressions web store at tailoredexpressions.com. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody, and I'll see you next time.